It's January 18th, 2012, and I'm in my kitchen in Kansas right now. You can see some of the clutter and things that I have laying about here. I have to apologize for not doing very many videos lately. I've been getting a lot of different offers on different things, and it's distracting me quite a bit. But just in brief, I wanted to have a short discussion about food, particularly when it comes to institutional brands versus random third-party food providers in the grocery industry. I have seen a lot of prep videos that are showing foods from Kroger and so on, usually at a much better price than other brands that are available at stores. And one thing that I've noticed as an outsider looking in, as I haven't really lived in the US for most of the last 5 years, is that this has eroded the product variety in supermarkets. And there are a lot of niche brands that were harder, that I used to be able to find that are much harder to find now. And I have some principles when it comes to buying food, not as many as I perhaps should, because organic and non-Monsanto brands are the way to go. It's just that realistically 80 to 90% of people, including myself, really can't afford to be that elitist or principled when it comes to their food selection. So I do understand when we all have to cut corners. That said, as someone who lost about 60 pounds from peak and yo-yoed a little bit, but now I'm down to the same weight that I was when I was 12. There are a lot of things I do when I shop, and I never leave the store without reading labels of things I'm buying. I do buy breads that are whole wheat, and I check the labels for everything, with the exception of the occasional soda pop that I do get. Nothing is going into my cart or basket that says high fructose corn syrup. And also, if there are any ingredients that you wouldn't be able to visualize, they have to be very low on the list. So you see like really long scientific names sometimes. Well, okay, so this is some taco seasoning. Well, I guess the most controversial thing on here, I don't think you can see it, but would be maltodextrin. I'm sure it's not good for you. I don't really know what that is, and so if you can't visualize what it would look like, it's probably not something that you should be having. I do like to make pancakes or use pancake mix to make other things. And yesterday I was trying to find a cheaper alternative to this pancake mix. This is $5.15 before tax. So it ends up being around $5.60 when I buy it for 2 pounds. But if you look at the label here, I don't think that this is going to appear very well, and I don't want to risk zooming. But it's whole wheat flour, cornmeal, a bit of dextrose, and leavening and salt. All the other brands, the first ingredient was enriched bleached white flour. all of that sounds really bad to me. And if they're half the price and this is twice that price, it just you just know that you're paying for real food. That's why it's so much more expensive and subject to inflation. Um, Another thing I like to buy is Greek yogurt, and I can imagine without even having the dialogue with people that there's huge hesitation to buy this because with 113 gram servings, it is 31% saturated fat according to I forgot the I'm sure it's the Food and Drug Administration that sets those nutritional standards. Um, People have been trained to think that fat is bad, and it can be. But if you look around, everybody I know that or I shouldn't say everybody, but most everybody I know who has been a heavy drinker of diet drinks and has low fat this and low fat that, the ingredients tend to be much more synthetic, and you're likely to have lifelong weight problems because your your organs are straining to like process these lab-made ingredients, and it's just amazing what we can survive. I can't get over it. And then here you will see I do occasionally make frozen French fries. I think some of the glazing for them is probably too high in preservatives, and they are high in calories, but they're also really high in potassium. And so I really don't deprive myself of anything, and yet I've continued to lose weight or plateau. Um, our health is kind of a state of mind, and usually if we're gaining weight, it's a protective barrier of some kind, and it's more mental than anything that you could physically do or consume. And on top of that, I would add that I forgot what I was going to add actually. Try to take advantage of spices as much as you can versus sugar or preservatives, and you're more likely to get a lot of flavor out of mundane ingredients such as potatoes or rice. It's very cost effective even now, and it kind of takes some of the mania out of food because you will crave it, but it's not the same kind of drug addicted craving you'll have to fast food and that kind of thing. And now that I've been out of it, there really isn't any food outside of what I make at home that I would crave. Like most chain restaurants are, they really just make me feel sick. But do allocate your time and money to local restaurants. If you need any tips about selecting food, please send them my way because I've been through a lot with that. All the best, guys. Bye.